Well, hi, it's Jeannie in the glass studio, and today I'm going to be showing you and opening this package of something that we're going to use in the glass studio. And while I do that, I wanted to just tell you a little bit of something. I was walking along the river this morning, and it was in the rain, and it was beautiful rain, and it just seemed like everything was intensified. I was listening to the sounds of things and the smell of things. I could smell the breakfast of the people nearby and the houses. In the background, I heard the whistle of the train. I know I must have heard that in other mornings, but this morning it was just louder, it was more clear, and the smells were just more intensified. And I just thought, wow, sometimes you just need to intensify your experience. And so I was thinking, okay, I just kept thinking of different ways to intensify our experience. And one way to intensify our experience in our life is to learn new things. Hence, we're going to be learning some new things about how to embellish your glass. And this is, it's called an air eraser kit. So this is going to be fun, and I'm excited because I have done some airbrushing, but not with this. And so I think David is going to be the one to be our teacher with this, which is so cool because I get to learn something new today too. So the second thing I wanted to tell you about intensifying is that lately I have been planning the wedding of our daughter. And I brought home this cute little rhinestone headband because she has short hair, and I thought that would just look so pretty in her hair. Well, she was happy with it. And she said, yeah, that'll be fine. But I could tell in her voice that it wasn't quite right. So after some questions, she said, well, Mom, this is fine. This is good. But instead of a headband, I was kind of thinking a crown. And I thought, oh my goodness, that just, sorry, I'm going to get verklempt here, but I just thought, I was thinking of her as a princess, and I needed to be thinking of her as a queen. And so you better believe I am going to take that headband back, and I am going to find her the most beautiful crown, because she deserves that, and she deserves to be the queen of her day. So, intensify the vision. Don't just think of yourself as, a prince or a princess. Think of yourself as the king, as the queen of your own life. So, next thing and last thing, and then we'll get to David, is during the pandemic, especially during the spring, I had maybe 4 or 5 students that were either nurses or they were somehow affiliated with the medical field. And I thought that was amazing. That was just fascinating to me. And so one of the nurses, I asked her, what made you come now to take a stained glass class? And she says, you know what? There was so much sadness at work, so much sickness, and occasional dying that I needed something for myself. And so she came to a stained glass class where she could break glass and then put it back together into something more beautiful and gorgeous. And that, let me tell you, is stained glass therapy. That's a thing. And it's real. And so I think that she had the vision to intensify her self-care. And so did all of those students at that time. And so because they intensified their self-care, they were able to go out and serve and help others because they had the energy to do that. So let's just reiterate just for a minute, and then we'll get to it. Intensify your learning, intensify your self-care, and intensify the vision that you have for yourself, your family, your community. So, okay, I am going to turn the time over to David, and he's going to show you what you do with this that I have taken out of its box. So we're going to trade.
Hi, it's David in the Stained Glass Studio, and a few years ago I was at the mall and I saw a guy who was in one of those kiosks, and he had something really neat. It had these little brass letters, and you could put them in a holder and put them up against a glass, push them up, and then he could sandblast the letter into the glass. And I thought that was really cool. So I got excited about trying to find some of those, and I looked and looked and looked, and I never found them. Well, now the other day, I decided, well, maybe it wasn't the lettering that was so important. It was the sandblaster. So I started looking for them, and it turns out instead of looking for a airbrush sandblaster, I needed to look for an air eraser, and I was successful. I found them on Amazon for about 66 bucks. Real nice kit, high quality. And then on Harbor Freight I found for $29, and that's what this is here. Is a kit that they sell at Harbor Freight, and I thought I would get this kit and show you how it works, because we've had some people asking. You know, we did a little bit about sandblasting your glass, but people sometimes are not all that interested in it because they don't have a sandblaster. Well, here you go. This is a wonderful kit, and see, it does look like an airbrush. And it's gravity fed from this pot here into the air pan, and it blasts a stream of air and aluminum oxide. So I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, first thing is the air eraser, and I'm putting on the air supply tube. It's just a knurled end. Now what I've done is on the other end I put one of these quick connects. Now the quick connect is going to hook into my regular compressed air system. And you might have one and you might not. It depends on what you're going to use. You know, you can use a regular compressor, a great big compressor. They make little tiny air compressors for airbrushes, and they also have canned air. So you have a whole lot of choices at different expense levels. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting this hose on here. Now this is a pressure regulator. They say don't use this over 60 pounds, so I don't want it to go over 60 pounds. And so that's what I'm going to keep an eye on. Now for another thing that comes with the air eraser is this abrasive. Now this abrasive is listed as aluminum oxide, 150 G. I think that's the grit size. I use aluminum oxide in our compressor for when we're doing regular sandblasting. So I'm really familiar with this, and I know that you want to be careful. I want to be careful with it because breathing it's not a good idea. I actually prefer the aluminum oxide over the silica sand because the silica sand can get in your lungs and give you what is it called, Jeannie? Silicosis. And so that's not a good thing. But this is equally, somewhat scary stuff. So put it in, I'm just pouring some down. And there's probably enough in there now to do what we're going to do. And I'll put our little cap back on. Now it's set up except for setting the pressure, so I'll just okay, and it's just hitting at 40, 45, so that'll be great. All right, so it's all set up, and now we're going to pass the torch to Jeannie. Give you a demonstration.
Okay, so I have a piece of, it's a little thicker than contact paper. It's used for signs. And I'm just going to quickly just draw a star. Okay, just a freehand star there. And I'll cut this out. If I was really going to sandblast this, I would cover the entire thing and then just cut it out. But for just these purposes, I'm just going to cut this one little star out just so I can show you this new fun gadget we have. Alright, so I'm just going to stick that down.
Okay, so this is a demonstration of your number 2 method of what? Decorating glass. Your number 1 decoration method is using a sandblaster, right?
Right. Okay, then we're just going to pick it up. All right, there's my crazy star. I'm going to use the bottom part of the cutter here just to make sure it's stuck tight. Okay.
All right, sweet.
All right. All right, so I'm going to just read to you, and I need my glasses to do that. What it says here. It says, warning, to prevent serious injury, wear ANSI approved safety goggles, NIOSH approved dust mask respirator, and heavy duty work gloves during use. Do not point toward people, do not exceed 65 psi, and only use specified cutting compounds. Very important.
Okay, so you're going to wear safety glasses. Hoo-hoo. Look how cute you look. And your special dust mask. Now this is a really good one. This one captures your breath, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you should say something to us while you're all masked up there, Jeannie.
Does that all sound funny?
Yeah, so you don't test spray against your hand.
Oh, good idea.
Okay, let's...
I think we're used to the sandblaster doing it so fast. I guess, yeah, it's working, it's just faint. Yeah, I guess you can see that it's
Good.
working a
All
little
right, so
bit.
now you want to pull it off. You can take your mask off. We already know who you are. It won't it's not disguising you at all, Jeannie. You still look like you're Jeannie.
Whew.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll take longer because I'm used to the sandblaster just making it very deep. But for our purposes, can you
Okay.
see?
Looks pretty great.
That worked, didn't it?
So that's your number 2 method of doing a star, an embellishment. Okay.
Uh-huh.